Hey, welcome back to round two of the Nexus Night of People's Card Shop. We got Gale Sharp returning with his patented Ahri deck, and Irvin always be switching it up on us. He is playing Miss Fortune, Aurora, probably Dazzling Aurora because it is set one. Can't wait for the set two Miss Fortune mid-range decks to start showing up. It's going to be real cool. And both players are deciding who gets to go first. And Ari wants to basically go first and set up a hold early game. And Irvin wants to go first because he just wants to open up the God Hand of turn 3 Dazzling Aurora, the classic play. The issue here is I don't actually know who's favored in this matchup. Ari is a classic hold deck, but it's pretty slow to get going sometimes. If he wants to win, he wants to basically just activate Time Warp and steal a win like that. All right, both players are mulliganing here. The classic mulligan. Both players want to start off with two drops. Always, this whole game is predicated on opening up a two drop, and it's Valmal Lair versus Dreaming Tree. Valmal Lair is kind of spooky. Sometimes you can't be retreating, and that's where all the big creatures of, what is it called? Of Miss Fortune wants to go at. And here you go. Immobilize is able to ramp up. Next turn, if Irvin starts with Catalyst, it is the classic turn 3 Aurora. And we are playing a Lecturing Yordle to draw a card. Simple starts here. Now here we go. This is it. Does he have Catalyst of Aeon? This is the turn 2 that we always want. And here's the beautiful thing. Catalyst Aeon is going to be 4 energy, but so he has 1 mana to activate stacked deck. He gets to check for the top 3. Even if he didn't draw Catalyst Aeon in his opening 6, he might be able to see it with 3 more cards being seen. Tapping 4. It is,
man,
the Catalyst of Aeon. It could be a short game 3 here. Now, Miss Fortune is one of those, I don't want to say it's a glass cannon deck because I've seen Miss Fortunes win without opening this hand, but it's definitely a powerful keg, of explosives that Miss Fortune was coming up at. And here we go. Here is the Lecturing Yordle coming down
Definitely
into the Dreaming Tree.
more likely to win when you definitely have
that
the
opening.
catalyst with that
Yes.
opening. I wonder if he found it off of
Off of the stack deck.
the stack deck.
That's what I was saying, that, with that opening, he has that extra mana to see 3 more deep. And here it is, putting Irvin to the test. Does he have it? But, even if he doesn't have Dazzling Aurora right now, even just dropping a big, Dead Bloom Predator could be enough.
I think he has it.
And he has it.
Dang.
And this is, now it's putting Gale to the test. Can he survive the onslaught of Fatty after Fatty? We want a Dead Bloom Predator coming out. Ooh. And here is an Anivia. It is a 7 might unit. Whenever it basically attacks, it does 3 damage to all units in the battlefield. So it's basically kind of like a baby board wipe. It's going to eat up the Lecturing Yordle and actually the, Stalwart Poro.
We don't see Anivia that often, but I do think it's such a good card in Miss Fortune specifically. It does have 8 might. It is so big. It's just like all the other big drops, but it's a pseudo board clear. When he moves, he's just going to, annihilate that field. So Gale here is forced to pull back because anything that he puts up right now will just die for free to the Anivia.
And I would probably, he's tapping out here. I would probably try to play this Ari. Oh, and he is playing the Watcher. Watcher, right?
Master of Waters.
Master of Water, not Master of Watchers. And here you go. Irvin's on easy street now. The thing about it is the way to beat these Miss Fortune decks is to get underneath them, score a big point total, so that you could amass a big turn where you can conquer them out of the game. But it's 1-0 right now, and Irvin is in the driver's seat. Every turn, he basically gets to cheat out at least 8 mana.
Man, the win rate of the Aurora deck being able to catalyst into Aurora is so high game 1 because you don't have any of the tech in your deck yet to protect yourself from the Aurora, be able to kill it or remove it in some type of way. For free every single turn, he's just going to get basically 8 might worth of stuff. We have a smoke screen in her hand and a Sprite Mother. But that is all.
So the only way I can see, well, not the only way, but the way I can see Gale
Going
maneuvering
graveyard.
this himself to win the game here is if Irvin keeps missing on good targets for what is it called, Dazzling Aurora. So it has to be these like low impact cards. But honestly, any big monster is gonna be high impact.
We are just playing our Misfortune. We are moving our Misfortune back because she was accelerated, so we moved her back to base. And then we are going to activate the ganking ability to move the Anivia. That was actually such a crazy play. He moved the Anivia up into the bottom battlefield, then he played the accelerated Misfortune into the battlefield and moved it backwards into his base to then, when Misfortune moves, she readies another unit to ready the Anivia, then gave that Anivia ganking with her legend ability, and then conquered over to the top battlefield. That is such a out-of-the-box way of thinking about that, accelerating your unit backwards into your base like that.
To basically give ganking to the other creature.
Great play, and made it readied.
Yeah, no, that was
Great
awesome.
play.
And the challenge here, and this is what
And a
Irvin wants to do
challenge.
here, is basically make Gale's board small every turn, because as long as he kind of like weeds out a big turn from Gale, he's going to pull it out just summoning these big fat creatures.
And he has the Misfortune ready in the back. He's not scared of it getting killed because of the way he played that turn. And
Ooh,
another
and
Anivia.
another Anivia played here.
Man.
So it's just going to be another board wipe here. Anivia, it seems to be Irvin's tech choice here. It's really good against stuff like Victor.
I think
or
it's crazy versus Ahri, too, because she's
Yeah.
lowering your might, but it's like, who cares?
Who
He's
cares?
just-
I'm just going to wipe you out of here.
Yeah,
The 3
wow.
damage perfectly suited to just wipe out Ahri.
Wow, a card we don't see that often is just such a key player in this game, just the threat of attacking in. If they both attack at the same time, that's 6.
And sometimes, honestly, summoning a Dead Bloom Predator here, just for the stats, would be good. But here with the Anivia, it's the same amount of stats, but it has the potential of just wiping out a board for no reason.
I think the Ahri player didn't play bad. It's just such an unfortunate thing to get the Aurora out so early, and the Anivia's basically counter the Ahri deck hyper hard right now.
And here's the smoke screen. The issue with that is Gale most likely will be able to overtake this Anivia, but another Anivia coming back, just like the egg.
Yeah, the Anivia was a good drop to get off of the Aurora. Maybe the best drop to get off the Aurora in this matchup.
And I'm wondering what he's playing instead of the Anivia. I'm pretty sure he's not playing the big Volley Bear because that's often what is the tech card. Probably isn't playing the Mountain Drake either because 2 Anivia, that's a lot of monsters. That bucks the trend of the normal Misfortune deck. I usually see...
I feel like instead of... Volley's kind of big, though.
Yeah, Volley
Either
is big.
Volley or Mountain Drake. He has to have one of them.
Yeah.
Probably not both. What would you pick? Would you like Volley Bear or would you like Mountain Drake better?
I kind of like... Honestly, I really like Mountain Drake just a lot better because if you draw the Volley Bear, you're probably never summoning it. Like, ever.
True. Master of Waters, he's a 2 might, but if he attacks or defends alone, he gets +2 by himself. We're going to push in with our Lecturing Yordle, which has tank. No, we're deciding that we are just going to go in with the Master of Waters, trade it for the Anivia. The Anivia is -4. We're going to trade evenly here, and then push in with the Lecturing Yordle.
To go to 4.
Because even if he moved... He could have moved in the Lecturing Yordle with the... No, because the Master of Water wouldn't have got the buff. That's what he probably figured out when he was playing that.
Okay. And one of the few ways I think Gale can come back in this game here is if he's able to basically just activate Time Warp on a turn where Irvin doesn't expect it. But every single turn, this Dazzling Aurora stays on field. It goes harder and harder and harder. And here you go. It's immobilize. Where is Irvin going to go?
He has so much mana open, actually. Was that like 6 mana open? He's just
Yeah.
going to take the kill here. move the Misfortune.
Oh,
Ready,
and it's going to
ganking.
have ganking. It's going to run over to the Paul Starbolt portal.
Oh, man,
And
he had to get rid of both.
And that's the beauty of Misfortune. You know, Misfortune's really slow to start up, but once these creatures have ganking, they can start scoring 2 points a turn, almost like without any issues here.
The ganking ability on the Misfortune leader is so crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I personally like putting in the back here. Okay, he's gonna stack it, so that's cool.
Misfortune is kind of tiny.
It is kind of tiny here, and I do like it because it basically guarantees that, hey, I'm not going to lose the point here. But I do like basically putting it in the back because I don't mind giving up points right now because I just want to kill as many creatures as possible.
Misfortune 5 might.
Misfortune is 5 might,
So I
a
think
discipline would be enough to go ahead and match it.
That would lose to Watcher, that entire top side. Because with -3, he'd go to 5, and then -3 go to 2, it'd be at 7. Oh, well, it would even out with the Watcher.
It'd be even out with that, but I'm not going to lie. I would take that almost every day because I need to get these creatures off the board.
So I guess I do like the double stack because they trade the Watcher, but then it protects the Anivia in the bottom. He can't kill the Anivia and the double stack in the top because it takes the entire Watcher body. Just trying to see his graveyard, what cards and spells or whatever what was used. We know we have a challenge was used so far.
And this is where Ahri doesn't want to be. Normally, Ahri is the quintessential hold deck. It wants to be holding, not it wants to be overtaking battlefields. If Gale can push through this, that would be amazing, in all honesty.
That's why Ahri is such a cool deck, but it's just lower in the brackets right now just because if you push it off of a battlefield and it can't get on, then it really has a rough time, unlike some of these other decks which do fight back and they can push in. Ahri just has a tough time pushing in without the backup of the Watcher. Without the Watcher, it's really hard for Ahri to come back in this game. But again, remember, this was a hyper-tempoed out Aurora deck where they got Aurora down the earliest they could. And they pulled 2 Anivias, cards that, you know, definitely run
definitely
over the
hard
Ahri
counters
deck.
the Ahri strategy, just being able to kill it without even going into a full showdown.
Yeah, two of the Dead Blooms would have been better for the Ahri player. Okay, Sprite Mother. There's really not much that we could do right now.
The main issue here is I don't think the Spirit's actually doing anything, so it's just Sprite Mother tempo just to summon it, just to get more creatures onto the board. But that's what Gale needs to be doing here, is just getting as many creatures out. Okay, I think he's going to be probably a discipline here, trying to make a a bigger Raven Blue student here. It's going to go to 5/8. Right now, it matches the Anivia. Will he have anything? But here's the issue. Irvin could have Bullet Time, could have Gust. He could have a plethora of different answers to Gale's, attack.
I think he would have gusted in response to the discipline. He might have Fight or Flight.
Yeah, that is true. He might have Fight or Flight.
He might be waiting. He might be cool with the trade and just waiting for Ahri to commit one more spell before he's like, I do have the Fight or Flight.
Yeah. And I don't mind this because Irvin's so up right now. He's down to trade basically one card for 4 at this point.
I would not want to lose the Anivia, but I do like the play. He's being a tiny bit greedy, but I think it's greedy in the right way because he's so ahead that he can do it. One more spell, like he's going to maybe Stupefy or another kind of buff here, and then he'll react.
The only thing that is kind of spooky now is this Misfortune is kind of stuck at this Valmaz lair. That's where she's destined to be for the rest of this game.
Retreating the Sprite. Getting the buff, then he's going to on guard because it's alone.
He's
that's cool.
He's making a fat.
So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he is at 9 right now. He did have it. He did have it. Wow.
Absolutely disgusting.
Man, he's like, show me all the spells in your hand, buddy.
Yep. And that's honestly great
True
move
pirate
from Irvin.
Right there.
He super duper patient on that one. He basically saw it. He was like, you know what, I'm willing to take this trade, but the moment Gale offered up another card, Irvin, the ever card game player, wants that +1, activates that card, and says, get out of here, Fight or Flight that monster out. And now
Yeah.
Gale is Omega on the back foot. If he wasn't on the back foot already, his Irvin's got his neck on his foot. Aurora out 6 points. It's crazy.
Gale probably thought that he was pushing an 8, and then Irvin's like, yeah, it's cool. The 8's fine. And then in response, I say, okay, he probably doesn't have anything. Let me do a little bit extra to get on top of that. What a good play to hold that fight or flight for so long.
I just want to say thanks to all 11 watchers. Appreciate you guys coming out to watch the People's Card Shop. Shout out to Soup Jam Stevens. I see you.
We stream here at the People's Card Shop. Monday nights at around 6:30 is the start time for our Nexus night.
Come check us out on Charleston, baby. All right, Gale is at 4 points, 2-6. Irvin has the double hold right now. Irvin's only showing 6 points. 6 points to 13 and 8. These are some huge numbers. Lecturing Yordle, trying to see what he has. But Gale does not have a big hand here. Oh, and here comes a Thousand Tail Watcher. This is actually what Gale needed to go ahead and try to push through everything.
Anivia is 5-2. It's 7 on the Anivia side. And then it's 5 on the Debloom side. We have a 2 and a 3 from the student and the Sprite Mother. So student, it's 5 on the Sprite Mother. So we can trade the we can trade
it
them
with
all.
one side,
we
yeah.
can trade them all. We can trade the Watcher with the bottom, and we can trade the other 2 with the top. If we have one spell, then we can actually come out a little bit ahead.
The issue here is that Mind Splitter is just in the back.
Also, Irvin has like a bajillion mana.
Cards. He has yet to
Look at all that mana.
Yeah. He's yet to activate, what is it called, Bullet Time. He has a lot of options. Irvin here, dancing a little bit, feeling the music. He's ready. Gale just in meditation. He's just trying to figure out how he can set up game here. But it's looking real bleak.
He's going to go for the trade here, the Watcher for the 2. He's going to pass focus. Irvin is going to fight or flight it back. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to be greedy this time. I'm just going to move that back and win the game. That was a really hard game for the Ahri. It is rough. Getting that early Aurora like that, being able to tempo out 2 creatures that hard counter your opponent for like literally no reason. Insane.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Gale had the start he wanted. He had early drops to try to get it, but the issue is a turn 3. A turn 3 Dazzling Aurora is a little too much for a couple 2 drops and 4 drops.
Yeah, that's the strongest open in the game is turn 3 Aurora for sure.
Yep.
Is there anything stronger? Don't think so.
I don't think so. I literally do not think there is anything stronger than turn 3 Aurora right now. So right now, Gale is going to go ahead and choose to go first. Most likely it's going to be the classic Grove of the God Willow. When you hold here, you draw a card. It has Thousand-Tailed Watcher. It was made for Ahri. Ahri wants to draw cards.
Ahri's in that card.
Ahri is.
She's very small. She's in that card.
She is in that card. And then the cool thing about Dazzling Aurora Miss Fortune is they have a lot of battlefields that are real, real good. Going first, going second. What I would think he's definitely going to choose going second is probably going to be Obelisk of Power. It basically starts off with another ramp here. It's like he activated Catalyst of Aeons.
Yeah, just trying to get to that Aurora as fast as you possibly can because you get that down and the game is kind of yours. Ahri, the blue-yellow deck, or green deck, doesn't really have too many outs to Aurora. Do they have any outs? I don't think they have any outs to Aurora.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to win underneath the Aurora. You know what I mean? And revolving around a Time Warp. But
pre-Spirit Force,
Gale
no outs.
does have an option here that I really do like is the availability of Green Ahri. Green Ahri is a card that oftentimes when you're fighting for board, it's not the best. But when you know your opponent is going to be playing on the back foot, you play that bad boy on there, and you're getting 2 points a turn. And the coolest play that Ahri can do is at 5 points, play that sucker on the board, Time Warp, and that's 8 point. That's a 3 point swing right there.
Ahri doesn't have anything that's like so obnoxiously aggressive that like her opening hands, it's like the crazy opening hand for Ahri is not like game winning. So I think Ahri has this like neutral middle ground where she
Yeah.
like has a very consistent game plan that gets done every single game, but the high end and the low end isn't too crazy. Like Miss Fortune and Kaisa, when they have their high end and they're doing like 2-drop knocks is hopeful and it's like absolutely banana stats,
You're
then
probably going to win. But
yeah.
then when you open up like the prime Ari hand of something like Stalwart Poro into Charm with another follow-up card with a counter spell, that's not a guaranteed auto win versus
Yeah.
Aurora Misfortune.
Yep.
So some interesting cards that Gale can be signing is stuff like Windwall or Reversal of Fortune or Mystic Reversal, two counter spells that basically is going to stop Irvin from moving up the ramp scale. The thing about it is, if he's able to catch some of these ramp spells with like a Defy or something like that, he could potentially tempo out Irvin out of this game.
Oh man, Gale hitting us with the de-sleeving all this side deck because they're not in the right sleeves right now.
If you want to buy sleeves, come check out the People's Card Shop. We got a huge selection of
We
sleeves.
do.
We do.
Like, no lie, there's so much options here. They even have that little thing where you can like see what all
Oh yeah, that little swatch.
what all the cards look like just by looking up right now. Looking at, I have to say at least 30 to 40 different colors for Dragon Shield at least, and that's only Dragon Shield.
Shout outs to every single person watching here. Shout outs to Child of Sleep. What's up, Anson? I see you. So if you guys are just catching up with us right now, it is going to be Gale Sharp. He is playing his Patented Ahri deck. Every time we featured Gale, he's literally been playing Ahri. Since I've known this dude, he's been an Ahri guy. But he's playing against Irvin, a person that's no slouch and has been in our feature match countless times. He's played actually a different deck almost every single time he's been on feature. I thought he was actually just a Yasuo one-trick. No, we just caught him at a Yasuo time in his life. So both players are basically done siding, offering each other the decks. Let's see what Irvin is starting off with his battlefield. That's the real question. We already know Gale's going to start off with Grove of the God Willow. That's always the go-to battlefield for going first with Ahri. And it's going to be Aspirin's Climb. Both players got to win at 9. And honestly, that's a great battlefield to go second with here because Ahri wants to go first and try to, get as many points as possible, but it kind of ruins the point threshold with this 9, making it a lot harder to win here. And that's all Irvin wants to do. Irvin wants to make the game as slow as possible because his late game ends up beating Ahri's game. The thing with Ahri, it's a mid-range deck. It's just trying to get an early hold and hold on to the rest of the game, but that is kind of a slow win condition when a lot of decks kind of want to double conquer.
Aspirin's Climb is just such a crazy battlefield.
Yeah, it literally
Just
breaks the
changes the
rule
game.
of the game.
Yeah, it's just wild.
And here's the first test that we put Gale up to. Does he have an early drop? And he does with a Ravenbloom student. And a pass from Irvin. He does not have a Mobilize here. But it's fine with no Mobilize. He's able to still cast Catalyst next turn, so it's not that bad. But what is Gale going to do here? Gale gaining the point.
I like Gale's sleeves on his rune deck. I think that's the World Championship bundle. That's why they look so shiny.
If I was Gale here, I would try to keep Defy up because just negating the Catalyst of Aeon seems like such a powerful move here.
Yeah, that would be very devastating for Irvin.
I'm actually surprised he's choosing to double hold here. The thing about it is, well, no, I guess it's actually playing around the Misfortune Accelerate, right? Or is Misfortune a 5?
I think she's. I'm pretty sure she's 5 accelerate, so you would need 6 mana.
Ooh, and a double gust to bounce.
Yeah, she's
Both-
5 accelerate.
Yeah, both creatures here. And that's the beauty here of the Misfortune deck. It has a lot of cards that kind of puts points off of battlefields. And being able to use Double Gust here to kind of set Gale back to not try to get a hold here, that's what he wants to do.
Echo? It is Echo.
Oh, ooh, that is a spicy meatball of a tech. Echo here with the accelerate. If you guys don't know what Echo does, he is a 5 energy unit with 1 power with accelerate, and he has the awesome death knell when he dies. Basically, recycle him, ready all your runes. So he's able to kind of spam out big turns. And one of my favorite things with Echo is able to basically just cheat out Time Warp when you least expect it. So it's a real cool card in these Time Warp strategies. But it just gets a free point, and that's what Gale wants. Gale wants to get these accelerated units out to get as many points as possible. Because the longer the game goes on, it's harder for him to win.
Something you could do is you can tap all your mana, then Echo dies, and then they untap, but you have all that floating mana, and you can use it again to cheat out, like I said, giant spells like Time Warp. So we're just going to manually just make an Anivia, which is still fine. Anivia is a really threatening creature. We have to deramp for 2, which it doesn't really matter too much in Irvin's deck because it's all big creatures and tiny spells. So if we are deramping a little bit, but we're constantly on that 8 mana for the big drops, it's not that bad. The only problem with this is that next turn, if we draw an Aurora off the top, we won't be able to play it. Play a Ravenboom Student and then pull back the Echo and pass. That Ravenboom Student is kind of just free real estate for the Anivia. If she pushes in, it's not even that much of a hassle to get through. He needs to use 2 spells on the Ravenloom, but he might have something like On Guard Discipline in order to trade.
And I have seen an On Guard in Gale's hand, so that is up for grabs on that one. The biggest issue here is Gale going to be able to, overtake the Anivia, or is it just going to be a trade?
Drop, I think. Because he has 8 mana, so he's going to just drop another 8.
Yeah. And the spooky thing about here is Irvin's basically saying, you know what, I'm not going to play with Aurora. I'm going to play this kind of mid-rangey kind of game with Anivias, which is good, honestly, against the Ahri. But you want to just be slamming bomb after bomb after bomb with the, not Aspirant's Climb, with the Dazzling Aurora.
Yeah, like you said last game, it is such a glass cannon deck that, yeah, these big drops are very strong. But without Aurora getting them for free and you have to pay for them, who wants to pay for their big drops, right? We all want it for free.
Now, Irvin really taking his time thinking about his move here. Really trying to decide, because that's one of the biggest questions here is if he plays a card that ends up having to recycle any of his runes, that's another turn off of Dazzling Aurora. But if he thinks he can win without it, it's going to be the move he has to make. And again, Irvin always has to remember that Time Warp is up for grabs here. The problem is if he lets Gale score too many early points, a quick Time Warp can end the game if he's able to overtake one battlefield.
Irvin's thinking like, this Ravenbloom looks so free, but that's why it's not free at all.
Yeah.
Because Gale is a good player, and making it look so free like that to just the Anivia, it's definitely a bait to try to get that Anivia in there.
Yeah, because honestly, Gale is basically saying, I dare you to run this up, because the information of the Anivia was available already. He knew that it was going to rush into battle. So Gale could have easily just put it back and try to save it. Oh, and he basically is choosing not to do anything. He's passing here.
Man, so we didn't even have a big drop either. He's just going to keep his mana up, maybe for some type of challenge on the opponent's turn.
Okay, going up to 4. The question here is Gale going to take up the Aspirant's Climb with the Echo here? Because if he does, he's basically giving up the death knell of using up all the mana here. I like that.
He'll go up to 5.
The issue here is 4 normally is a real scary number to be ahead of, but the Aspirant's Climb making that break point of 9 to win the game really, really, really hard.
Yeah, I think the push-in for the odd number is nice now to get the 5.
Yep.
He does have the On Guard for the Echo too, so it's not that bad to push in the Echo. I think it's fine. You can play it safe and keep him back. Also remember that whenever you attack into Ahri, your guy's -1.
That is true. It is -1.
So Anivia is tacking in to Echo, which is 5, and then getting on guarded. That would trade.
Okay. And I'm not going to lie, I really do like the Echo staying back because here's the thing. At any time, he can run that Echo in. It's a 5 body. He can just play a bunch of pump spells on that Echo for free. Then it retaps everything, and he's able to cast something like a Time Warp and get a double conquer.
Irvin's just saying, you know what, show me what you're going to show me last turn. Let's just see what's going on.
All right, it goes to 5 right now, 5 to 7. So right now, a Discipline or another on guard is able to go ahead and kill it. But here's the thing. Irvin has infinite mana, literally infinite mana. He could have his own, what is it called, battle tricks. He can have something like a fight or flight, or he can have a bullet time to go ahead and get rid of the entire board.
I think he definitely has a fight or flight. Rune Prison. Okay. So that means we definitely don't have the discipline, because we would have just disciplined instead.
To out it, yeah.
We have to waste 2 cards there.
But the cool thing is he gets to heal it off. So even after the 3 damage, it's okay.
Also, it was a cool bait because he did that last turn to bait, say, like, you know, come in. And he couldn't pull back to show that he didn't have the discipline. So he just kept the facade up that he had all of the tricks.
And here comes a Dazzling Aurora. And then, oh, let me see them hands. Gale, put him down. Let's see it. We have the on guard. That's what we were afraid of. On guard, discipline.
He did have discipline.
Oh, he had a nasty, nasty hand. You know, I don't mind. I really don't mind him not disciplining it because I feel like Rune Prison gets, like, not progressively worse.
He would have killed the Anivia, though.
He would have killed the Anivia, but again, he has so much open mana. You know what I mean? There's, like, a lot of different things. I think him activating that Rune Prison.
He could have always Rune Prisoned after, though.
Yeah, but the Rune Prison doesn't do anything if Irvin does something like a fight or flight or what is it called? Things like that, you know? My thing is, I like, how do I say it? I feel like saving your buffs is the most important thing here because Ahri doesn't have a problem with defending. It has a huge problem with overtaking stats. So I would have saved the on guard and discipline. Also, again, Irvin has seen the Time Warp. This is kind of what Gale was posturing this entire time, and that's what I said. I like him not getting rid of that Echo because even if it doesn't look like he has enough mana for Time Warp, Echo is that sneaky little guy. It has to be the Time Warp. Yeah.
You know what's funny? When there is an Echo deck, Time Warp is not a signature spell.
It's not, yeah.
Even though Echo's on the card, which is strange.
All right, going to 4. Oh, going to 5. There you go.
Echo signature will be extra Time Warp.
More
Take 2
Time
turns.
Warps.
Search Time Warp from your deck.
And the hold here off of the, what is it called? Off of the Grove of the God Willow is just what he needs here. 2 extra cards. And I'm not going to lie. Usually I'm a big fan of 1 Time Warp in Ahri. But siding a 2nd Time Warp for a little slower decks is what I've been a fan of.
Oh, man. We would have won the game if we had the Time Warp.
Yeah. Well, no. Asprin's Climb. Remember that.
Oh, true. True. Breaking the rules of the game. Going up to 9 instead. So now we have double buffs in our hand. We have a 2-drop in our hand as well. And then the card we drew off for turn. Thinking about what we should do. We still have access to our Ahri in our champion zone as well. We still never used it yet.
But I don't think it's ever going to be played until that Anivia is off the board. Because what that Anivia just says is, get that Ahri out of here.
Yeah. We could have put the green one in there if we were actually having it in our main or side. So maybe we just don't run the green Ahri.
One at all, yeah. I'm actually... Oh, man, if it was something else besides the Mind Splitter, Gale would be in such a big, big, big plus here. Ooh, and the Charm into the Anivia. Let's see where it goes. It's +3 right now. It's 3 to 7. Let's start doing some math.
We have 3 to 7 on guard would go 6. And then Discipline puts it over to 9. But then we're using a lot for that. Oh, just
ooh, and a
is
smoke screen
cool.
to make it even
I
tinier.
like the smoke screen. because then we're at 4 and it's at 3. So we just get to use one card. That's a nice smoke screen right there. So minus
And honestly,
5 on
even
the
though
Anivia.
there is a Dazzling Aurora on board, this is where Gale wants to be. Gale wants to basically be up 6 points to a Dazzling Aurora. Irvin has to be basically just running, slamming, and down all his ganking creatures to basically make up the point parity. But let's see. Okay, and he's rushing that Echo in. And the cool thing here is that Echo is going to be big enough to where it could kind of fight this Mind Splitter.
Back him up with the Poro.
And I like fighting over the Grove of the God Willow because, honestly, the way to beat a Dazzling Aurora, because Dazzling Aurora is just so much free mana, is to get as many free cards yourself.
A cool play Irvin has access to is moving the Mind Splitter to kill the Raven Bloom, and then accelerating the Misfortune to slam into something, and then getting that Mind Splitter ready for a gank over with the Hero Legend ability. That's something that he could do. Use Misfortune as pseudo or removal and a Ride the Wind, kinda. We're going to check the hands. Probably get rid of that on guard. We might preemptively use something right now. 2 mana. Reaction, discipline.
And I'm trying. Ooh, and he's doing it on the Raven Bloom. He's deeming the Raven Bloom more important than trying to protect the Echo.
So +2 going to 5. We have
Ooh, Thousand-Tailed Watcher. And that is exactly the card that Gale wants to have in hand after at the end point of this game, because he's up so many points. This Thousand-Tailed Watcher is able to at least blank out one of the big fatties that Irvin has. What is Irvin going to play? Is it going to be another Dazzling Aurora? It looks like he has... Ooh, it looks like he has a Deadbloom Predator that he's eyeing down here. Let's see how he does it. He also has a challenge. His hand is stacked with a lot of powerful cards.
3, 4, 5. So he has 8 mana. Exactly.
Choosing
But he
Recycle.
is going to Watcher? I mean, Deadbloom?
Choosing not to float the
He's
mana.
going to
Let's
wait
see.
real quick. He's going to go in, kill the thing.
Oh, and another Mind Splitter here.
I like that a lot.
Ooh.
Ripping the Watcher. That was his only way back into the... Well, not back. That was his way to solidify the game, was to Watcher down whatever the Aurora player had. So he thought about removing the board, but he's like, you know what? Let's just rip the Watcher right now so that he
Ooh,
couldn't
and the
do
Soul
that.
Gorger, but I don't think it's going to summon anything, is it? Ooh,
Oh,
it's
the
going to
Anivia.
summon back the Anivia, and Irvin has turned the corner. It's 6-1, but Irvin is in the driver's seat with over 20 points of might on the field.
That's why Soul Gorger is so crazy, because you get 2 bodies for the price of 1. And if you're running the inverted timelines in your deck, it then counters the Kaisa deck as well. So that package is so strong.
And also, we just have to remember that Irvin's monsters all have the ability of getting ganking and the ability of getting readied also by the, what is it called, Miss Fortune champion unit. So now, every battlefield is Irvin's playground right here. He's about to gank over to the Grove of the God Willow. Oh, and here comes the Mask. The Mask, when a creature defends or attacks alone, it gains +1. And here it is. Irvin truly winning off the back of double Mind Splitter. Mind Splitter forcing out Gale's Discipline immediately and ripping out his On Guard. But most importantly, on the turn where Gale was about to turn the corner, he ripped out Time Warp out of his opponent's hand.
Yeah, Purple Aurora has access to a lot of cool utility cards.
Oh, 3 of a kind. We got 3 Poros, baby, coming out.
3 Musketeers.
Here's the issue. Every turn, it gets harder and harder and harder for Gale to win because this Dazzling Aurora just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, Dazzling came out pretty late.
Pretty slow. It was like turn 5.
And it's like, he had such a lead. It just shows like how crazy Aurora is if it's undealt with at all.
Yeah. It just shows the power of all these cards that Irvin summons. Even if not summoned off Aurora, this Anivia really made Gale think about a lot of his moves. And this Mind Splitter summon for free, ripping out that Time Warp, was literally just the start of the beginning of the end for Irvin. And giving it ganking, and I like this, Irvin leaving a bunch of stuff in the back. He's not looking for a big fat hold because he knows his creatures are just big. They're going to force a lot here. And here comes the challenge. What are we going to kill? I'm probably killing the Echo here. Yep.
Oh, man.
It's too much of a thing. Recycling gets to untap a bunch of mana, but the issue here is Gale going to be able to use any of that mana? No Showdown's about to happen anymore.
Yeah.
I see a Catalyst that is a dead card in Irvin's hand, but it doesn't really matter anymore because there is a Dazzling Aurora and a disgusting another challenge who's up on the chopping block, and it is a Dazzling Aurora.
Just trying to defend against if he happens to top deck another Watcher.
And this is disgusting. When Dazzling Aurora wins, it's like a near perfect victory. Look how much stats there is. It's 15 and 10 showing. Oh my goodness.
There's still a lot of turns left in the game though, because he's only at 3 and then he's gonna go to 5.
And then we hit the fattest of the fatties. It's the Volley Bear. A big deflect creature coming out. You know what's crazy about Irvin's deck? I have yet to see a Dead Bloom Predator. I want to ask him if he has it in his deck. So what
He
could...
had one last game.
There was? Okay.
But yeah, none this game at all.
Irvin's chilling. Even though Irvin only has 3 points, it's on Gale to try to figure this out because every single turn, at least 7 mites coming out. And here comes the Ahri. Ahri's signature ability of just mining Sing 3 would be able to help clear out the battlefield. The issue is these are some fat units.
Yeah.
We need a Thousand Tail Watcher stat.
We need another blue Ahri and then a Watcher.
Yeah.
So double blue Ahri Watcher is what we need.
So right now, if I was Gale, I would want to just summon like a bunch of creatures and follow up with a Thousand Tail
and
Watcher.
we're passing.
But that's not available here. And
At
that's
this point, it's just there's so many stats. I don't know how you ever come back.
Yep. Now let's see how Irvin develops his board. Only at 6 mana right now. He can't play any of his fatties, but a lot of different options.
He could still win the double conquer and then hold for a turn is pretty good, but like how do you even get there?
Okay, double ramping up here. It's not really what Irvin wants to do, but he's in the driver's seat. He's basically just setting up for another big card for be able to play 2 big cards in one turn, one from his hand, one from Dazzling Aurora next turn. But let's see where he's gonna go. Stack deck. I was gonna say another stack deck. Ooh, and there's the Dead Bloom Predator, a fat unit, 8 might and a deflect. So it's looking real bad for Gale.
I guess blue does have access to is it called excess power?
Yeah, unchecked power. Yes,
Unchecked power.
unchecked power
Dude, if
would.
he gets that, that's crazy.
Oh my goodness, unchecked power would actually be
Dude, please
the
get
Stone
it.
Cold
I
nuts.
wanna
Gale,
see
I'm
it
begging
so
you.
bad.
Unchecked power. Check this dude.
Dude, if he actually gets that,
But no,
he's a god.
legitimately, if he had unchecked power, Gale would have just slammed it
maybe
and
he
just
threw it
said
off the top-
taste it.
top deck.
I would have slammed it too. What the heck? But let's see. There's a lot of stuff here.
This is the one out that he has if he's running it.
Adaptatron, that's a little too late.
Oh, man. Good card, but it is delayed.
No, that's not what it does, Irvin. That's not what it does. If only Adaptatron was that nuts.
Yeah, Adaptatron is it when he conquers?
It's when he conquers, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be able to kill the Aurora now. I wish it was a move trigger.
Yeah, Irvin was shocked it was that bad. He's like, it's not dead right now? Okay, we're at 5. We'll go to 7, so we have one more turn to uncheck that power. Ah, yeah, he's saying. He passes a turn. The Ahri players had so many turns of unspent mana because he just probably has had like
A bunch of counter spells, a bunch of battle tricks.
Yeah.
But battle tricks don't do anything to 20 might. And again, I want to point out Gale does have another option of literally just drawing unchecked power, and that potentially could be the game winner here. The issue is Irvin just has too much going on.
Irvin can't play around unchecked power now because if he pulls out and he loses the battlefields, he just loses to a time warp.
Yeah, the way to play unchecked power at this point would just after every Dazzling Aurora just summon it into base, and I don't mind that play honestly, just because you have such a fat stack going on here. Ahri is not known for its cracking ability, and we already got rid of 1,000-tailed Watcher.
Also, if we run our cards in our deck, we do give up a point to the opponent.
Oh, yeah, that is a potential option here.
He doesn't have that many cards in his deck, bro.
Yep. Stack deck.
We just got to hold on for a
hold on for
turns.
quote-unquote dear life, but he's been holding this mangled corpse of a game forever. So what is he going to play? 9, 8 mana, 10.
Another Aurora.
Another Aurora.
I was joking,
and it's
but
dazzling good.
Eventually, he has to get another.
And this Adaptatron has to conquer twice to kill this dazzling Aurora.
Adaptatron, and then sneak a purple
Right
card into
here.
your deck and ride the wind it.
And there we go. We got the Mountain Drake, 10 stats. Boom. Give me a what is it? Another one. That's 20 might right there. If Gale can do this, he is a literal wizard. And now unchecked power is not an answer because Irvin has a double conquer in the base with just 10. The problem with unchecked power, it's going to tap all his units. Gale will not be able to score
Unchecked
any
power,
points.
unchecked power. Follow it up again, too. No, I don't think he has. I think he drew a charm for turn.
Get him out of there.
Yeah, this is really nothing he can do.
The issue here is that Gale is at 6, and we're at Aspirant's Climb territory, so you got to get 9 points to win. And Gale's stats do not add up to the mighty might of all these creatures.
What is his hand? I just want to see it. Yeah, they're kind of shocked it took all the time, but you know, it's a slow Aurora with an Ahri deck. They're both slow-ish decks, and then Aurora just had a late start, so that's just how it be.
Just telling both players that they have 2-minute extension, just because we start the turn. We start their matches a little bit later than normal compared to the other competitors. And Gale just trying to figure out what he can do here. He's sending in that Ahri, minusing 3 off of most likely what's going to be the Anivia. Smoke screen, making it even smaller. So this Anivia or the Soul Gorge is basically at 1.
But what even happens even if he wins this fight? I feel like nothing.
So what's going to happen is he's going to give one of his units ganking, and then it's going to come on down and Irvin wins again. And here, as much as Gale wants it to be, these stats do not add up to these gigantic numbers that Irvin has. Oh. And here is a Sprite Mother summoning a Sprite token out. Where was the Sprite token? We had a Sprite token last game.
He shuffled it in his deck, maybe. Oh,
right there. Bang. Oh, snap. It's going to get the conquer. It's Dazzling Aurora.
Wait, it's -3 only? And then
But bullet time. Get out of here.
Oh, man. He just
No fun zone for Gale.
Dang.
What I like about this is Gale's being a good old sport. He's playing it out. The writing's been on the wall maybe for 3 turns.
Yeah. But we're always having fun here, learning.
Yeah, always
playing
trying to
out
learn new
to the
interactions.
max.
So even if a game looks hopeless, you could probably still learn some cool stuff while playing.
The card that Irvin played, you probably know, Bullet Time. Action, pay any amount of power and deal that much damage to all enemy units at a battlefield. So you pay 1, and you can, like, basically shoot everything for 12 if you felt like it, like get rid of all your mana. So that's what he did. Not all of his mana, but just the amount to kill it.
Hey, shout outs to all 15 watchers watching us on stream. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
But are they accelerated?
And boom, Gale concedes, and that was just a showing from the, what is it called, from the Miss Fortune deck.
Okay, round 3 is going to start really soon here because that game just literally went to time. Definitely shows you that Aurora right off the bat getting the on turn 3, such a high win rate. And even in game 2, getting that Aurora late.
Yeah, turn 5, it was actually just the nail in the coffin. You know, it really looked like Gale had it, but the Aurora was just ending up too much. The Ahri deck is a little too slow to handle that.
Yeah, you think about it, you're paying 9 mana for 1 giant guy, which is already, like, good stats, and then it's just, like,
For the rest of the turn.
continually getting big guys. So, you know, it's
Yeah.
rough. This shouldn't be a long break. We're going to be coming soon, probably, like, 5-ish minutes. So we will be back.